Melania surfaces. The First Lady looks pretty in pink as she is pictured by Donald Trump's side for the first time in over a week. Melania Trump was back on First Lady duties on Tuesday afternoon, after going more than a week without being seen by her husband's side. The 47-year-old looked every inch the summer style icon in a pretty pink dress as she joined her husband at the White House, before the couple boarded Marine One, and then Air Force One, which was bound for Ohio. President Trump and his wife put on a public display of affection during the photo op, holding hands and smiling at the cameras. However, it is the first time that the couple has been pictured together in public for nearly 10 days, and it has been 2 weeks since Melania was pictured alongside her husband in Washington, D.C. Clasping hands with the president, and gamely smiling and waving at photographers, Melania looked happy and relaxed as she made her way onto the waiting helicopter. After the two arrived at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland, they were photographed making their way to Air Force One. When they reached the top of the aircraft's stairs, they once again happily waved at the cameras before their flight to Ohio. And despite the slightly cooler temperatures on Tuesday, Melania was dressed in a $1,795 Monique Lillier pink floral dress that featured a unique lace overlay and several splashes of green, yellow and white. She accessorized with a pair of dark sunglasses, and dared to brave the grass of the White House lawn in a sky-high pair of pale pink suede heels by Christian Louboutin. Aside from her large engagement ring, Melania wore minimal jewelry, letting her detailed dress speak for itself, and she wore her golden brown hair in loose waves around her shoulders. Melania was last seen in the Capitol on July 12, when she and her husband left the White House on Marine One, before leaving for their Bastille Day trip to Paris, where the duo was welcomed by France's new president, Emmanuel Macron, and his wife Brigitte. After their return to home soil, Melania and her husband made their way straight to the Trump family golf resort in Bedminster, where they watched the U.S. Women's Open together. At the time, Melania was pictured looking less than thrilled about attending the sporting event, which was won by South Korean golfer Sung Hyun Park, despite her husband gleefully tweeting about the fact that there were more supporters on hand U.S. Open than protesters. And while her husband was seen making a return to the White House after the weekend away, it was without his wife, who is thought to have remained at their property in New Jersey while he headed back to D.C. However, Melania looked refreshed and ready to travel during their trip to Ohio, where Trump will be holding his Make America Great Again rally in Youngstown. The president's visit coincides with the Senate's vote on GOP legislation to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, which is better known as Obamacare. The Senate voted 51-50 to start debate on Obamacare repeal, with Vice President Mike Pence casting a tie-breaking vote on Tuesday. Earlier in the day, President Trump held a news conference in the Rose Garden of the White House. However, despite being asked multiple times if he was going to fire his Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, Trump wouldn't say